I was hoping I'd be able to drive my bike here in the sun, but sun's not cooperating. There's definitely rain in those clouds. But we shall get going, and as soon as the shower starts, we shall try and find a place to pull in and shelter. I don't know, man. This looks like it's gonna take a while to disperse. Alright, so good morning, properly this time. Well, I say morning, it's nearly 12 o'clock. It's been 2 hours waiting for the rain to pass over, which it has, mostly I reckon. There's still a few grey clouds there, but down that way it seems clear. Anyway, the reason why I waited for 2 hours for the rain to pass over instead of just driving south where it looks a bit clearer is because there's something I want to see, and it's very close. Let's go. Here we are, the ancient city of Nicopolis. Isn't that something? Look at these walls. They're gorgeous. Okay, never mind. It is €8 to get in, which is way too much. I'm spoiled after living in Andalusia for so long, where so many of these sites are free, or at the very most charge you €2 or €3 to get in for European citizens. And yeah, when I was going through Italy, I noticed that a lot of these sites are very expensive, like €15 to €20 to get in. And here, €8 is still pushing it. As you can see so much of the site for free without paying the €8. Now you might say, Ferdia, stop trying to drive these people out of their tourist industry, but it's something I feel very strongly about, is charging that amount of money to tourists to come and visit these sites, because a lot of tourists, unless they know what they're looking for, they'll be duped into paying that amount of money just to look at a pile of old stones. A lot of the times it's not worth it. So my tip for any tourists who are just coming to see these places as something to do as part of the holiday is, don't just go up to the ticket office and pay whatever they're asking, because a lot of the time it's not worth it. Have a look on the satellite view on Google Maps and see just exactly how much of the site is visitable and how much is fenced off. How much are you going to see for your money's worth? Because a lot of the time, as in this case, €8 to see like what looks like 2 or 3 acres of stones, it's just not worth it. Now you might say, Ferdia, that's not really fair. You're trying to talk people out of supporting these people's tourist industry. And okay, yeah, that is fair enough. Tourism is a big part of the industry here, and for that, I'm sorry, but this is how I feel about it. And the second part is, you may say that that money goes towards further excavations and the upkeep of the site. Well, first of all, that's not always true in a lot of these cases. You don't pay for archaeological excavations. Universities do. And the other thing is, it's not your responsibility as a tourist to pay for the upkeep of these sites. That is the responsibility of the state. And unfortunately, in many cases, the state has no interest in the continued development of these sites. They're only trying to make a few bucks off tourists. Now, if it's a case of like €2 or something, then fine, contribution charge, pay for the person who's at the gate or whatever. I'm rambling now. So there are a few cities in what was the Roman Empire called Nicopolis. Nicopolis means victory city. And this city of victory was founded by one Octavian after his victory over his fellow Roman, Marcus Antonius, in the civil war that followed Julius Caesar's death and the dissolution of the Second Triumvirate. The forces of Mark Antony and Cleopatra were nestled in this bay. This is the Bay of Actium. And there, Mark Antony and Cleopatra had assembled their fleet, which was wintering in the bay, while their land forces were on the other side of the bay. And Octavian pursued them to Greece. He landed north, actually near enough to where we came into Greece from Italy. And he marched south, supported by his navy at sea. And he trapped the navy of Mark Antony and Cleopatra in the bay, forcing them to have to try and break out, or else they would be defeated. And they did break out, but it was a complete defeat for the forces of Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Now some say Mark Antony lost the battle fair and square. He was outmaneuvered and strategized by the general of Octavian, the famous Agrippa. As you can see, the site is huge. Look at all these walls. And some say he knew he was never going to be able to win that battle, and he just threw his navy against Octavian's navy so that he and Cleopatra could escape. But as a result of his defeat, he pretty much lost everything. He lost his fleet, what was left of his army, which was sizable, stranded on the other side of the Bay of Actium, deserted or surrendered to Octavian. Mark Antony and Cleopatra fled to Alexandria, where the final nail in the coffin was put in. Cleopatra and Mark Antony commits suicide. Cleopatra is taken hostage by Octavian, and then she kills herself soon after. And this is why Octavian founded this city. The city of victory. Of course, he wasn't going to be known as Octavian after this victory. He was given the honorific Augustus, after which he just became known as Caesar Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. Look at this gorgeous gate. They're doing a really nice restoration job on it. Really nice. I haven't actually seen walls like this before, because we don't really have these in the West so much. These are late 5th and early 6th century walls. So by that time in the West, like in Spain for example, the empire was already gone, so they weren't really building big city fortifications like this for a couple hundred years. Until, well, in Spain, until the Arabs and Berbers came. And they were of a very different style. So this is quite unique for me. It's a first. Hopefully the first of many. Here's a really nice graphic of what it possibly looked like. And yeah, over here, look, this is a map graphic showing the battle that occurred out there. Let's see, that's Antony's forces, which were wintering in this bay here. The forces were roughly equal. Octavian had more ships, but Mark Antony had bigger and better ships. Now, unfortunately, Mark Antony had a problem with desertion that winter. Whilst the navy was harbouring in the bay, there was a malaria outbreak, and so that coupled with desertion meant that Mark Antony was a bit short on rowers, which were kind of important for these Roman vessels. And this is what Octavian's fleet lined up here, barricaded them in the bay. Mark Antony and Cleopatra either, they either gave battle expecting to win, or they gave battle to create a diversion so that Cleopatra and himself could escape, whichever one you want to go with. Either way, it was a devastating defeat for Mark Antony, and pretty much heralded the end of the Roman Republic in all but name. So it's quite a unique place, quite a unique monument commemorating that moment. Probably the crown jewel of this monument would have been the bronze rams that were mounted to the front of these warships. They were taken from the remains of Antony's fleet and mounted here on the wall. Massive, colossal bronze rams, just to really make your point. And yeah, what a view. Look, you can see sections of Roman walls down there. That's pretty cool. That's quite a unique perspective to see a section of Roman walls from above in the distance. And now can you imagine the Roman walls stretching all the way around a bustling city. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. Let's get going, shall we? No, you're not ready. My camera. I don't want to be a YouTuber anymore. Well, as you can see, I decided to eat for the day. I don't need to eat again later, which means I can just ride until it gets dark. So good. Kind of feels like home. Feels like the rest of Ireland. A bit warmer, but still. Ooh. That's the second one there. That's over there. We don't want to go there. There's the first one. Awesome. Alright, it doesn't look like it's getting any worse, and it does keep going down. Oh, little chapel. Wow, that's pretty rough. Oh, hello! So many dogs today. Alright, I just checked the weather forecast and apparently it's going to be a storm tonight, which I'm worried about because I don't want to be stuck here if I can't get up that hill, if it's washed out in the morning. If I can't get up it, I'm kind of stuck down here. And there's really bad signal as well. So, it's... look at the sun! 5 o'clock. There's about an hour and a half, maybe an hour if it's stormy, of light. Ay. Decisions. Got to go all the way back to nearly Actium. What is it, 117 kilometers to the next big town. Because I could try find another camp spot somewhere along this coast, but it looks really rocky with only small little coves like here, and it's definitely not guaranteed. Oh man, they're speaking English. They are English. Maybe I could sleep with them. And those grey clouds are coming in pretty fast. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna get going. So I have no signal down here to check nearby places, so I'm gonna ride back to where there is signal and then decide there. But what I'll probably end up doing is riding to the nearest town, even though it gets a bit dark, and trying to find an apartment or a room or something. I don't think it's gonna work out tonight. Oh yeah. I think that was a good decision. Anyway, got a place to stay, about an hour and a half drive. Oh, that's a pity now. It's a real pity, this place looks nice. Anyway, there's no sense in risking getting stuck down there with no signal, and there's also no sense in having a miserable time with it.
Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? It's undefined, want to know where you are. Why keep you hiding where the sun is dark? The sun is dark.
My faithful RP robots, guide me to my car. Yeah, it's a good idea. That's why I'm down that old bag there.
Clean clothes. Yes, I think so. I've got so much stuff charging everywhere. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at how many plugs I can fit into one socket. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things charging in one socket. Oh, that's a very satisfying pop. And tonight, oh, tonight is a special night. We have a glass, proper glass. I just baptized my helmet. It's your Greek baptism. It's very light. What the hell? It's a very strange colour. It's like watered grape juice. It smells like wine. What the hell is that? Oh. It's kind of fizzy, but it's not quite fizzy. And it's very sweet. 11% volume, that's very little. Hang on, I need to get my phone for Google Translate. Red semi-sweet, that makes sense. Probably should have Googled that before I bought it. $6.50 as well, it was not cheap. But it was only one of 2 wines that they had in the shop, which was just a little grocer's. Semi-sweet wine that stands out for its intense red fruit aromas. Didn't get any of that. Imbalanced sweet mouthfeel. Mouthfeel. Keep this PG. Enjoy it as an aperitif or accompanying fruits, sweets, and nuts. 3 things I actually don't eat very much of. Fruit, sweets, and nuts. I have to say, I don't like it very much at all. No, not for me. I'm just checking the weather radar to see what the weather is like where we were earlier. Apparently there's a rain warning issued, so the state of the bed. So many wires. Anyway, I think this is for today. I reckon I don't think I can even finish that wine, which is a pity. $6.50. Anyway, I'll leave it here for the woman who runs the place. I'll tell her in the morning she can help herself. See you in the morning.